Welcome back.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. So, good to see you,
Sharon.
Supernova.
Hey.
Hi.
Sharon, that's great.
Oh, look, you have the same interior decorator that Slinky Cat has. So, any highlights for you?
Just a sense of the importance of space.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's kind of a work in progress for a lot of us.
Yeah.
To give ourselves our own, play space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any thoughts about what you would start to include or do differently with your space to make it feel more delightful?
I had a room that I was starting to redesign last summer, and I'm still here. And my original feeling was a treehouse. And so now I feel very inspired to, at least in spirit, do that. I don't know how it's going to happen in practice because I don't want to be tied to any one idea, but this feels really so nicely timed for me because I had to take a space that I felt dead in and decide to dismantle it. And it was so solid and stuck that it took some doing to dismantle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, there might really be, I don't know if you, some feng shui component to it where energy isn't moving, and you might want to get some,
Right.
feng shui input. And
Well, I took it down to its bare bones. That's how committed I was.
Yeah. Great.
Goodbye to everything. But it took a
Beautiful.
while to do that.
Nice.
This is Tinkerbell. I actually did create my own space 10 years ago. Feng Shui certification while I was designing it because I wanted to honor the principles of Feng Shui. So I have an entire room that I can use as my office and conference center. So it was a big investment, but it's beautiful to have a space because I always dreamed of having a space ever since I was a little girl and shared a room with my sisters. I wanted my own space. So I have it and I claimed it, and my husband calls it the girls' den or something. I can't, instead of the male den, it's the women's den.
Nice.
That's great.
So I highly encourage you to have the space. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Great. So if you're inspired to take pictures of something you create in your space and share them on Facebook, I think it would inspire us all. Love to see them. And if there's an object, like sometimes it's as simple as just putting like something that delights you, one thing you just like in the bookshelf or on top, or just one thing that just says play to you.
This is my day. Hi.
I will be muting you.
Yeah. I've always wanted to have a Japanese room, the Japanese rooms with the simple tatami mats on the floor and little or no furniture, or the furniture comes out of the closet for what you need. And so it's like so versatile, and the sitting on the floor always makes me feel playful. So
Yeah. I had a client once who who emptied her entire house. Now, what is that?
What is that, Frolic?
You see it?
Yeah.
Palm trees.
It says play. It has a little, it looks like a collage with some sewn paper. Wow. Oh, that's the prayer flags you have behind you. Oh, how wonderful. Did you make those?
So yeah. Ooh. So they're little angel cards. I don't know if anybody ever has seen the little deck of angel cards. And then this is colorful hand-painted clothing that my mom used to always wear.
Oh, wow.
And then when my mom passed away a few years ago, she had this massive collection of this really lovely hand-painted clothes. So I hired an artist, a textile artist, to make prayer flags with pieces of her clothes, and then versions of the angels that she always used when you would go to her house and pick an angel. So we had a benefit sale at her memorial celebration, and so people bought prayer flags with her clothing that had a word or a message that they wanted to bring into their life. So I had forgotten that mine said, my biggest one said play. So when you asked what we had in our spaces, I looked to see what my messages were, and the big one is play. So anyway, I think it's fun.
That's great.
Fantastic.
What a beautiful, inspired way to work with your mother's memory. Oh my God. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Really. Wow. Wow. So,
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
I've also found sometimes to completely detach me from a space makes me freer than actually create it in my space.
You mean like traveling or?
Well, it could be, but sometimes I need to work in a space that is not inspiring at all, like a hotel room or whatever. So without me letting it bother me, that I can still go into the playful space somehow. So I think it's important not to become too dependent on the space either.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like that it's really important that whether it's a familiar or an unfamiliar space is a big deal. And so it's not being dependent on, it's just recognizing the impact of a space, and maybe the best thing you can do is leave the space because there's just too much, it's just too dense with identity or, projects that need to be done, or, whatever it is. A clean canvas can feel really refreshing and give you a lot of creative space. Makes total sense. And you're attending to your space. Like by doing that, you're realizing how important your space is, and you're being deliberate about putting yourself in the space that makes the best impact. So, it's another way of really recognizing. And, since we are in our own home spaces most of the time, or whether they're our offices or our workspace, it's to bring that design, and a sensitivity and awareness into creating those spaces so they're as enlivening as possible and generate our delight and play. Does anybody else want to share something, an object that they have, Cardigan, in their environment that either is already there or that they want to bring into their environment, maybe take out of a box and this play.
Well, I have a drum that I made on my wall, and some chimes and a singing bowl that are all in the same room. So when I walk by, I'm enticed to make music or make rhythm.
Yeah, that's a fantastic segue. So the other aspect of like creating a space, designing a space, is to make sure that the objects that you like to play with are at hand. That doesn't involve like digging deep into, or like, where did I put my paintbrushes, or but that they're accessible. That's part of playing on demand, is that it's like, you realize this, and it matters. It's like part of elevating play as something important in your life is to decide to place the objects that do inspire play near you. They don't have to be visually like there, but they could be in a drawer or on a shelf, or just really available. So if you like to play an instrument, the guitar is just not that far away. Or if you paint, oops, looks like we lost sound. Oh no, there's Ryan's about. Yeah, if you paint, like, just to feel like you don't have to do a lot of work to get to the paintbrush. So that's part of designing for it's playing on demand. It's just that, like, it's there. It's on. You're the queen of your world. You get to play when you want. It's there. And then, so another possibility is also playing on demand can also include just having play come to you. So, you're following your compass of joy, you're designing your life, making sure you're playing. Something changed. What was it?
Yeah.
Exactly. I actually have, I could go get it. It's here. I will go get it. It's right over. It's very close by.
They might not have strings, but you can take the clicker on there. God, yeah, what she got?
Feeling underdressed.
Oh, it's a jar?
Oh no.
It's an emergency clown nose.
Oh, wow. That's
I almost always have one in my purse. Just in case I catch myself taking myself too seriously or somebody else.
Very good. I love it.
Yeah. Break open plastic in case of emergency. Also, it's good to have a little bubbles in your purse.
Bubbles, yes, bubbles are
Always
brilliant.
handy. There's those nice little tiny bubble packages.
Yeah, delicious.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Wow! Yeah. Okay, back on the note. It's the top
Oh, we
line.
got some bubbles going on down there, Slinky Cat.
What's that? Oh, bubbles! She's got bubbles.
Yes. So yeah, having it handy. And then there's also just like making sure it shows up on your computer screen. Just try to delete a play group with a straight face. So yeah, like in other words, subscribe to the things that you want to see show up on your screen. God knows we get so much, in our inbox that doesn't delight us. That reminds us of things we have to do, or that we don't want to open, or if there's some way to make sure that you just get, whether it's magazines or or it's just subscribe to the sites, or just make sure that delight is on the menu for you. That's also a great idea. And I actually, for a while, I had play pops, which you could sign up for, that would just put something in your inbox, on a regular basis, that so to surprise and delight yourself. There's another aspect of playing on demand is also something I learned at IDEO, and this is sort of what it takes to create a culture of innovation. And it may or may not apply to your life, but this just by way of sparking inspiration in case it does. There's so at IDEO, there's a magazine rack with like every possible kind of magazine, from mechanic to hats, and whitewater rafting, and just everything you could imagine. And the idea is that there's just a kind of constant availability of stimulation that's outside your normal categories. So every Friday we would also have somebody would present something, sometimes internally within the organization or somebody outside. So like I learned to make cheese, I learned to salsa, and it's just a kind of constant stream of stimulation and inspiration that are outside your normal categories, because that's what play, creativity has to do with, making connections across different that are unusual and creating novelty. So that was a very big part of the culture of innovation, was just this perpetual stream. We also would, if we saw anything that inspired us, whether it was a really cool paper clip or an invitation to a party that just seemed like particularly delightful and interesting design-wise, people would collect them and bring them back, and there'd be like a sort of drawers and gallery of interesting design ideas. And you could just at any time open a drawer and get ideas, that people contributed to, we're always feeding into. So it's just a lens, while I was working there, it was like a whole lens around, like, always be aware of the things that delight you and take a picture of them and kind of make sure you collect them, like have the spaces where you put those inspiration. So, we're not here to generate relentless innovation. We're here to play. But it can be a part of it. It's like seeing with new eyes. Part of what playing the challenges do for us is it kind of shifts our perspective, which in itself, just Seal, I know you asked, is anything new play? It's not, there are like dopamines released around novelty. When we travel, there is a sort of boost of positive of reward in our reward system of dopamine, and that will give us a good sense of positivity. It's why traveling can be so much fun, as we actually get a little shot of endorphins. So there is something about novelty that we are kind of designed to feel good around. But of course, not all novelty. We could end up in prison, and that's not fun, So there's also all the other elements of play are important. That is voluntary, that it's intrinsically motivated, that, we've talked about those. So, but creating that novelty is, and that surprise for ourselves, and just bringing it into our space, making sure it's handy. Like if something delights us, take a picture of it, honor that feeling and just make your own little gallery of delight so that it's available when you want it. That's just another possibility. So love to hear, like, how does all that land? Is it more to do? Is it inspiring? Do you feel like you have ideas?
Yeah, I find it inspiring because it just brings back something in my consciousness that I know is important, but I just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's brilliant, yeah.
Why don't we take a week and really give it some attention and, feed it on the Facebook page and just see how it shifts our lives, whether, how often do we get to have a whole week where a group gets to focus on doing something like that,
That's
combining.
great.
So, and we could really support each other in doing that. Great. So we have a little bit of time. We can play. We could also really actually think about this with each other. Like what would you like the opportunity to break out into groups again and just really think through what would we like to do? What would you like to do this week around that? Let me see some nods if that feels good.
Or all of us, I don't mind.
Yeah, why don't we do it as a group? I'll capture some of the inspiration. So yeah, what do you think you want to create in your environment or around subscriptions or?
So I have a bit of a conundrum, so I don't know if anyone else has this. So I'm going to be away for the week. So it'll be an interesting time to work on my environment when I'm not actually going to be in my environment. So that is a nice little conundrum for if anyone has any ideas.
Well, you're always in your environment, but it's not your familiar environment.
It's a good idea.
It's not my own personal space.
Yeah.
But you always have an environment, so you can play with that.
Well, and you could bring something with you wherever you go that reminds you to play.
Or you could use the week to collect things, take photographs of things that you like, that you might bring to your environment. It could be quite a stimulating way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because you're not in your environment. You go, oh, I would like this in my environment.
You can just put all those photographs on the wall until you figure out, what you want to really maintain and keep.
Yeah, it will be an interesting ride. There's no question, because part of my play feels like letting go of stuff. So how do I let go without physically letting go might be part of how to play.
Wow.
Yes, I see some nods. Who's feeling like, wow, part of this week might be about decluttering a little bit?
Well, I am.
Yeah.
It's like getting rid of the things that, I'll just show you, like the cluttery, messy wall of, it's like inspiration, but it's not ordered or nice to look at. So there's something about getting rid of things and deciding what stays.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And who is feeling like they want to add something to your environment? Yeah, a little bit. What is it? If you were to sort of rank for yourself, like from 1 to 10, like how much play does your environment inspire right now? Where would that be?
My husband just bought a foosball table on Craigslist and put it on our side yard, and so it's like it's kind of like warped, and it's funny because my mental state is not playful at all, but there are play opportunities all around me. So I think for me, this next week it's just going to be about like paying attention. My son says, "Come on, play me in foosball." Go out and just do it. Even though I've got the village is burning feeling and I've got so much work to do, I need to just step away from the work. Right. Back away slowly from the work.
Yeah. You seem so clear about that, Supernova. Like it was like a cry for help on the Facebook page.
Totally.
What would support you in doing that? How could we support you in doing that?
I actually am really looking forward to seeing when people post on the Facebook page what they're doing to play. It's just like such a nice reminder, like, oh, yep. Human beings need to play, and I just need that nudge.
I remember you were the one who introduced me to the whole Tiny Habits, BJ Fogg principles. And I just wonder if there's a tiny habit around, like, okay, after I clean up from lunch or right after I do something, when I'll play foosball. So you don't have to be constantly deciding when to do it.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. When I finish dinner, I will play a game of foosball. That's a good one.
Great.
Dishes be damned.
The loser of the foosball game has to do the dishes. The loser of the foosball game has to do the dishes.
Yeah,
like that.
Will you snatch a picture of that so we can just be with you a little? Thanks. Anybody else?
I'm going to add some more pictures. I don't have enough pictures of my loved ones around me, so I'm going to do that.
Great. Who has a picture of themselves playing?
I do. In the bathroom.
Because we can actually snap one right now. We can put you on the speaker view, and you can put your nose on, and we'll take a picture. No kidding. It could happen this moment. Ooh. I can't really see. There's a lot of glare.
Picture.
Bubblicious.
I don't know if you can see this, but this is a picture of me playing with my husband.
A little bit.
Up a little bit.
Inside the mouth?
Yeah, move it.
Shark teeth.
Inside the shark teeth mouth?
Oh.
It's a tiger frame. And then inside, I'm holding a hula hoop, and he's pretending to be a cat, and I'm dressed up as the ringleader, and he's going to jump through the hula hoop.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that, Bubblicious?
Playing in a band, and which is incredibly funny because at my parents' house, it's not like you could run around the house making tons of noise, and that's exactly what we were doing that day, and making our own music, and it was pretty awesome. It got captured on film.
Fantastic.
There was someone else with some other kind of instrument, homemade, that they were there too. I don't know what it was, but it was quite a band.
Wow. Fabulous. Fabulous. Would anybody like, what's that?
And glass.
Oh.
Dancing
It's a
centaur.
centaur
Oh, where's the centaur? Is
and
some-
a blue.
Sort of a frolicking naked blue lady.
Uh-huh.
So
Nice.
the idea of just having little things that
Yep.
you can have in your environment, and I can choose this glass
Yeah.
out of rather than the boring cups or mugs.
Yeah.
So mugs are good for that too, I think, when you just need a cup of play.
Yeah, cup of play. Do you know that I hear that the water that you drink from those cups, Frolic, they have magical properties.
Yeah.
And it unleashes.
Yeah.
It really does. There's a
Yeah.
lot of articles about this. Unleashes your playful spirit when you drink
Nice.
water. Yeah.
And your inner Pegasus too.
Yes.
Yeah, you might drop a crop duster.
Good.
Silly puppy's got a puppet show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
No
great
giraffes. More
Wow.
giraffes. Great.
This is part of how I play. Part of I play is I have these fun things around my house, and I change around where they are and let they go. And this was from Africa, and this was from some silly store. But they play together now in the window.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful. Would anybody else like to use this moment to get some support or just share how they're going to bring some intention around playing on demand?
Today was the last day of school for the kids, so now I have to try and balance playing with them and working. So I will be taking up that challenge of the foosball as well. And I definitely might integrate that someone needs to like do the dishes if they lose foosball. Is that the win-win?
You know, we're so on track because next week is Playing on Purpose, which is literally about turning difficult, unfun chores and tasks into play.
Yeah.
So you're already ahead of the game, so to speak. It's great.
I will try and do that this week.
Fantastic.
One of the phone calls that I got that I had to take was my children calling me from Alaska. This is the week I was supposed to be on a cruise in Alaska with all my grandchildren. And because of my husband's illness, I couldn't go. And so my son went. And so they called and they had all these stories to tell me. It's great fun.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so, and they're going to stop by for one day on their way home. So I'll get to play with them a bit and that'll be fun.
Great.
Nice.
Great. So would you guys like to play for our last 10 minutes? Before we do that, is there anybody here who would like to stay for buddying up, for new buddies?
I feel like I've been a terrible buddy. I've been a terrible buddy.
Oh, no, buddy guilt.
Buddy guilt.
Yeah, buddy guilt is right.
Well, would you like to have a fresh start, or would you like to have a private booth so you can confess all your buddy sins and be
I'm happy
completely...
to try to re-buddy or whatever, but just a little apology out there for being
would you like? You don't have to have a buddy if you're going to be too busy, and it would be a burden. Then please don't. But it could also be a support, just a ping. You know, it doesn't have to be like a lot of obligation. So who would like to stay and get rebuddied? Okay, so 1, 2. That makes it difficult. It's just one person. Okay, we'll rebuddy Cardiff, and then don't stay. We'll rebuddy you offline. Okay.
And if it's okay, Cardiff, to check in with you this week, I will.
Absolutely, I'd love that too.
Okay, good.
Oh, sounds like you got buddies.
This time I promise I will actually be a buddy.
All right. So let's do a little let's see, what game do we want to play? We can just play Yes Let's, which is nice, since this is a nice small group. Let's just start. We have 10 minutes. Just shake it off. Just shake off all this talking and shake off what you've been sitting on. You have a little room. Shake out your voice. Shake out your nostrils. If you need to, crop dust. Shake out your butt. And I'll get us started with let's. So this is a game, just yes, let's. And I'm going to start us with a few things, and then if you start to, and that means that whatever I offer, the answer is always yes, let's.
Okay.
And then we do that, and then you can change it if anybody's inspired, and offer like, let's do this. And since we have this really cool kind of checkerboard thing going on, it might be fun to play with that. But I'll do a few things, and until somebody yeah. Let's pretend that we're animals stuck in a cage and we can't get out of our box. And now, does somebody else want to jump in?
Let's play ball. Ready, set, get. Throw it back, will you? Throw it back, will you?
Ooh.
Yes, let's do jumping jacks.
Yes, let's.
Yes, let's.
Yes, let's sing.
Let's sing.
La 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 la.
Let's sing the same song.
What song can we sing? Yes, let's.
Girls just wanna have fun.
Girls just
Wanna have fun.
just wanna.
They just wanna.
Lead us, Supernova.
I thought that was great. They just wanna. They just wanna. They just wanna. They just wanna. Girls just wanna have fun.
Girls just want to have fun. Let's twirl our hula hoops.
Really want.
Yes,
Oh.
Let's all bark.
Yeah, fake hula hooping. Let's pretend we're lava lamps. We're living inside a lava lamp.
Lava lamp. We're living inside. Yes, let's.
We're a lava lamp. We are the lava of the lava lamp.
Let's all play in a band. Let's all play in a band.
Oh.
Yes, let's. Let's rub our face. Rub our face.
Let's rub our face and our eyes.
Oh, yes, let's. Oh, I just noticed.
Let's all make fish faces.
Cabbage Patch?
What?
Oh, is that
Cabbage
a dance move?
What's a cabbage?
Let's put on a silly hat.
Ooh.
What's that silly hat?
Silly hat.
A silly hat?
Oh.
Let me take a picture of this.
Let's pretend while we're wearing our silly hats that we're very, very serious.
Oh. Yes, let's.
Oh, that does not look good. That does not look good.
I need that on my desk by sundown.
Oh.
No, yesterday.
Mm-mm.
I don't remember asking for it to be stapled.
And let's pretend we've had a transformation into what?
Butterfly?
Free floating debris.
Flea floating.
We are free floating debris.
Debris.
My wings are flapping. My wings are flapping.
Let's.
There we go.
Let's have a
And
nice
now-
landing.
Let's have a nice landing.
Let's have a big hug.
Oh.
Yes, let's.
Aww.
Let's pat each other on the back. Pat, pat.
Let's tell each other how wonderful each other is.
Aw, you're so wonderful.
Fabulous. You're terrific. I think you're the most wonderful. I
You
really
guys are the best.
You're the best. That's so true.
You're just a fantastic person. Absolutely amazing.
Fabulous.
I think that's
Love you guys.
I love you so much. So much. Mwah. I think this is a pretty darn good goodbye.
Goodbye.
Let's say a little giraffe, do a little giraffe goodbye. Have a really wonderful week playing on demand. I look forward to seeing you on Facebook.
Sounds
You're the best giraffes ever.
Put something in your schedule.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.